Hey there, Book Boss. This is Ashley, and I'm going to show you how to use the Facebook group / podcast guest research template that I've created. So first, we'll start off with some tips. When you open the document, it'll automatically make you make a copy. So you can edit however you need to on yours. You'll just click the blue button that says make a copy. And so you're going to use this to track where you'd like to be featured on podcasts and Facebook groups. This will also work for Instagram. However, I focused more so on Facebook and podcasts. You're going to search using the same keywords that you would use to find your book on Amazon. And when you're reaching out to these folks, don't be afraid to reach out multiple times. If you are reaching out to them on Facebook, sometimes if you message folks, if you're not friends with them, it will put you in the request message category, which is like the spam one. And so people generally don't check there. So be persistent, but obviously don't be irritating, but be persistent. When you reach out, come with an idea that benefits the group or the podcast host. So for example, I'm going to go through this idea with my new Mom Thoughts book. And with that, I'm going to be focusing on groups with new moms or podcasts that focus on moms. And so when I'm presenting or when I reach out to folks, I will say to them, hey, I have a book that I think would really help your audience. And I talk to them about the book and I say it's beneficial for new moms to help practice their self-care in a way that's easy to commit to. And that's something that's very pressing right now with the pandemics, with the rates of mental health issues increasing and moms not having the support they need. And so I think this is something that your audience would really benefit from, and to be able to manage their self-care in an easier, manageable, bite-sized way. So you want to be specific in the way that you can help their audience. Directions, you of course are watching the video right now, and then you will make a note to reach out to potential partners in the future. So once you've made the initial contact, you want to also make a time to circle back to them. One thing to note is most podcasts that have guests generally have a form on their website for you to apply, or it'll say email us at such and such email. And so be on the lookout for those. Be sure you listen to a few episodes of the podcast or spend time in the Facebook group that you would like to partner with to make sure it's a good fit for you. At the surface level, some things look one way, and then once you kind of dig into it a little further, you might notice that it doesn't align with your belief system or whatever the case may be. So just be sure to do both of those. And then if you're doing this and you're realizing this is too much for you to do, we do currently offer this as a service. So if you got this template and you said, okay, no, I just want y'all to do it for me, just reach out and email us back at info@sheppublishing.com. Or this is a task that you can hire out to a virtual assistant. Mine did this for me for my 2 books that I have currently, and then college interns, a marketing intern, or even your kids, because they're probably already on social media. So let's look at the other tabs. So this one is to track your Facebook groups. And so just across the top, we have some headers that you would want to make note of. So the name, the admin, how many members in the group topic or focus. These 2 are going to be very important. Of course, the link to get back to the group, how many posts per day, and you'll be able to see that as we're researching, when you reached out to them, and if you followed up with them. Then for podcasts, I did link an article that will help you to actually secure the podcast interviews. So definitely check that out. Same concept, podcast name, the host, how many downloads do they have, their contact information, do they accept guests? Obviously, we only want ones that accept guests for our purposes. Number of reviews, and then the date you reached out and the follow-up. So let's kind of dig in. Okay, so for the Facebook groups, obviously you're going to go to Facebook. And then you're going to type in the same kinds of keywords you would type in if you were looking for your book on Amazon. So my book is about new moms, and notice all of these other groups, these things pop up. So I'm going to spend time researching those types of things on Facebook and looking at the groups. Other keywords could be like motherhood or mommy life. Essentially, whatever your topic is, just start typing that in, and then you'll get to see some options that pop up. All right, so this one, new moms group. Okay, it says 2,000 members. I'm going to click on it and take a look. They have younger siblings. I can see some of the featured posts. This depends on if the group is public or not. So this one's public, so I can see more in it than I would if a group was private. And so this will help me to know if these folks are a good fit for what I'm looking for. Okay, so this woman's looking for tips for her child. Someone's trying to hire. Okay, so this shows me that they might be willing to spend money because people are showing they're interested. Someone's already sharing their blog. Okay, so there doesn't seem to be a ton of direction in this group. It seems like it's mostly just folks posting and other folks giving feedback. So it doesn't seem like there's a strong leader in the group, but obviously, let's see, I can go to the about and get a little bit more information. Okay, so this is the admin. So Laura Twist, okay, she's an OBGYN. So she might be very busy and that might be why she's not posting as often. Okay, they have 15 posts a day and they've gotten 167 new members in the last week. So it seems like they have a pretty good amount of traction in the group. So this might be one I might want to consider reaching out to. So if I'm doing that, then I would just message this person and I would let them know my offer, let them know once I join the group and I see if it's a good fit for me, then I would say, okay, let me talk to them and see what's going on. And then we can also see other things. Sometimes groups will have topics that they focus on. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. These topics do not, well, these are group topics. So some of these seem kind of random. So they don't have targeted topics of where the group admin has decided these are the things that we want to focus on. And anything somebody makes a hashtag, it'll make it into a topic. So that's also kind of why you're seeing random stuff here. All right, so maybe, maybe not. We'll see about that one. But I would record that on my sheet. Let me go back to the Facebook group one. So I would actually go through and record that information and just write it out here. And then if I decide to reach out, I'd put the date there. Okay, let's go check out another one. Okay, so I'm gonna try this one. This is a much larger group. It's got 42,000 members. It's private, so I can't see what they're posting. And they have a lot of admin. And likely groups that have a lot of admin are a little bit, not always, but that means that they are a little bit more structured because that means that they've requested that these people help to manage the group. So same concept, I would message maybe 1 or 2 admin because maybe the first person won't see it. And then, okay, they also have group rules. So I know there's some structure here. Okay. So then same thing, it's got 42,000 members, 181 people joined last week, and they have a lot of posts a day. So if I were to post in this group, I definitely would want to make sure that I've reached out to the admin, gotten approval, because you can get kicked out of groups if you're posting and they don't permit it. And here they do not promote, they don't allow promotions. However, sometimes groups of this size will allow you to promote with their permission. So it'll say like admin approved. So you would want to check that out. I'm likely not going to be able to see the discussion because it's a private group. Right. Okay. So then I would have to join the group, spend some time in there, check it out, see if it's something that I like. Okay. So that's basically the concept of the groups. Now let's head over to the podcast. Okay. So, and once again, for the groups, you would search other keywords that are about your topic. So I would do like new moms, moms of boys, or boy moms. I would say first time moms would be another topic I would search, and I would just type those in here. All right. So podcasts, I just went to Apple Podcasts. You can try Google as well, Stitcher, other options. Apple's the biggest one, so I'm going to start there. And going to see if it'll let me search. I might have to do this. Okay, sorry about the delay. Apple has moved the location of their podcast, so you will have to use iTunes for that. But same concept, you are going to search for topics that match your book. So I'm going to type in mom. And if you are just getting into iTunes, you're going to switch from your music to podcasts, and then it will bring you to the screen. So I'm going to type in mom and see what comes up. Okay, so mom is kind of generic. So you will have some that don't exactly match. And you will have to look through and see what fits. So like this one, don't mom alone. This seems supportive. So I'm going to click on that one. And then as I'm searching, I'm going to look and see, I'm actually going to listen to some of these episodes, of course. And then, so this is the owner of the podcast, but I'm also going to look and see if they have guests. And so I see almost pretty much every episode she has a guest. And so that means she does accept guests. She's got 1,900 5 stars, or pretty much all 5 stars. That's awesome. Once I listen to it and I like it, then I'm going to go ahead and subscribe to show I'm supporting her as well. And then I'm going to check out those ratings and reviews. So, okay, yep, mostly 4 and 5 stars. So that's good. Okay, people like the information. They've been listening for several years. This is the reason that podcasts are a great idea to get found. Okay, so it talks about newborn stage to 3-year-old and beyond. Okay, that sounds like my audience. And so then I'm going to see generally, website. Okay, there. I'm going to say generally they have a website. So let's check out our website. And then I'm going to see if there's a place I can apply to be on the podcast, and also just check her out more, of course, after I listen. So, okay. Oh, she's got a podcast club. Okay. So maybe I should check that out. Let's see what this is. Okay. So they meet up, they listen to the podcast. So she already has a built-in system for other people to listen to this podcast. So she's already driving traffic or sending listeners to this podcast. Okay, so I think I want to sign up to potentially speak. So I'm going to see if I can find where that is. I'm going to look at podcasts and see if she has a form. And if she doesn't, then I'm just going to spend time emailing her and seeing how I can get on this podcast. Okay, partner. I'm going to check that out. Okay, so she takes sponsors. So generally that means you have to pay something in order to be on the podcast. Oh, well, no, actually she has podcast guests. Okay, so she has both. So she has sponsors and then also podcast guests. Okay, so she's got a Google form. Just fill out my information. And that's it. So as you're tracking this, same concept on your spreadsheet. Those same metrics that we talked about earlier, you would add them here. And so for both of these, I would say try to get 20 groups and 20 podcasts, because not everybody's going to say yes. And so you want to have some options, and you want to be able to weed out people, because maybe you might say no. And after looking at it at first glance, you might think, okay, I thought this was a good fit, but it's actually not a good fit. So I'm not going to stick with this one. So hopefully this has been helpful, and hopefully you're able to get some awesome partnerships from this tool. Have a good one.